What's up, lovers and friends? S. Dot, and I'm at it again, live from Legacy, DC, right in the heart of the DMV. You can call me hashtag DMV lover, because it's all about that hip hop on the 50th anniversary this year, and it don't stop. But before I get started, please allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm a HU alum. My favorite reality show is the First 48. I be stealing memes and bliss tags. I'm 5'11", I wear size 11. It's all love though. But today, we're gonna have a whole lot of fun. We got a whole bunch of things going on here, Legacy DC. We doing it for the culture, baby. It's Steph Lova live and direct. Let's go. Steph Lova Live. This segment is being sponsored by Mr. Nice Guy, Fuse Drinks, all that good stuff. This one is called Ask Big Bird. You heard? Big Bird.
You see us.
I need to know. You got all the answers.
All right, what up?
Who really killed Tupac?
Man,
For real.
this man Keefy D, he the one that's saying he killed Tupac, you know.
He said that?
Allegedly, you understand what I'm saying? But, you know, 27 years later, got him.
Got him.
Got him.
So you from BK, so who killed Biggie?
All day. Hold on, wait. This ain't black. What's going on? I don't know.
I'm not trying to get you to snitch.
What?
Bird, you got the words. I need to know and I need to understand what they doing with these BBLs, what they putting in them. What is them BBLs? What's
BBL? What you talking about? Body built like a linebacker? Broke bitch lifestyle? I'm gonna go with beautiful black ladies.
Hey, I like that. I like that. Ask Big Bird. He got all the answers. Yeah, welcome to the district, Step Level 100 on the gram, live and direct for the culture, with one of the best hip-hop producers alive, the multi-talented, Grammy Award-winning producer, Salaam Remi. His resume will make you look, but believe it or not, he's just scratched the surface, or should I say the canvas. Hey, Steph Lova Live and direct once again, Legacy DC with super producer Salam Remy. Goodness gracious, if I listed your accolades, we would run out of time, baby. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. I mean, you know, happy to be here. Happy to be here.
Queens bred, born and raised, and you got a Caribbean background. Let's talk a little something about that, because I'm West Indian. My family's from St. Croix. Some of the best producers in hip hop have a Caribbean background. Why is that?
I'm not sure. I guess it's the extra spice in the seasoned rice or whatever it is. But, you know, and my dad is born in Trinidad, and then his father was actually born in Barbados. So I'm Trini-Bajan on one side of my family, you know, African-American on the other side of it.
I love that.
Definitely that. And then, you know, my grandmother lived also in D.C., so I got a lot of DC roots here as well.
So you're very familiar with the go-go roots and all of that.
All that.
So all that live instrumentation, did that make its way into some of your early production? Because you're not really a heavy sample guy. Not to my knowledge.
I was. I mean, you know, some of them, if I sample real. So like, you know, Made You Looks and all those things, I'm a sample all the way. But then basically, I like to be able to play over the samples when that came into play early 90s, and then me being able to play over the samples, I just got better at being able to play without any sample in the first place. You know.
Plus you save a lot of money like that too.
Yeah, that works
when
out.
When they caught up to the sampling.
But more so, it's like, y'all don't have to wait for a record to get an idea.
More
than I have to wait for a record to get an idea. Like the idea coming to my head, and then I'm able to just make it sound like how I want it to.
That's amazing. I love that. What is it about you Caribbean guys with the live instrumentation? I noticed you do it, Pete Rock does it. I don't know if Premier has some Caribbean background, but I'm sure he spent a lot of time in the islands.
I think it might be partially that, but you know, for me, the live side of it just really kicked in being a child of hip hop, and I had drum machines and I was sampling, then I wanted my samples to sound better Dre kind of made everybody have to step their game up in a different way because he was playing over his samples and the sonics would be so crazy. So now it's to the point where I don't even think about a sample. I just think about what I want to do and I can go right to it because I know how to play stuff as if it was a sample. So that's really my focus.
Do you remember the first beat you ever made and who you made it for? I'm just curious.
Nah. I mean, the way I was born was that my mom's brother was in a band with my dad. So I've been, the baby drummer in the family full of musicians all my life.
Wow.
So that's
It's in
pretty
the
much how
DNA.
it's been. Yeah, so I absorbed music, but when I was 3 years old, I had a drum set that I'd be like I could really keep that going, and then they'd be playing along with me.
That's some Tiger
You know
Woods
what
shit.
I'm saying?
From
So
3 years
whatever it
old.
was, yeah, it was in. So that's why I'm cool with the body of work that I was able to put together. But yeah, it's just always been a second nature to me, put it like that. As
Do
far as
you
that.
make beats for artists, or do artists come to you with an idea, or you make a beat and then you say, oh, this would be perfect for Nas, or this would be perfect for so and so?
Yeah, I hadn't actually made beats since probably the early '90s. Like I stopped even just going in that way. It's
I was
really
getting to that retirement part.
yeah. But I actually hadn't gone that way. I always got with an artist, and then maybe I created something, but it was always based on the conversation and the vibe. And if I felt like a conversation or a vibe with the artist came up, then we would go into making the music. But I never just sat down and said, I gotta get a beat and then chase somebody down with a beat tape. Not after maybe '92 or '93. I probably never did that again.
Now you referenced Nas, that made you look. That's my favorite beat. That's my winner bed when somebody went on the radio.
Right.
Cause it's so, you know what I'm saying? The energy is like, you could feel it from the first snare that it pops off. What was it like kind of constructing that? Like, cause Nas is really a laid back kind of guy. I mean, verbally, lyrically. He's not like
to
the
a point.
club king kind of guy. You know what I'm
no,
saying?
he had
And
his,
that's a party starter.
he had his hate me now energy, and he had like other stuff in that time period. But that was a hotbed year. That whole entire year, when I hear that record, I hear bereavement. Me, my mom's passing in
Oh, yeah.
2001. His mom's passing in 2002. You was in the city then, so you in the middle of the
There's a lot of different energy was going
of the
on
heat
back
going
then.
on, and
And all of it
ultimately,
wasn't positive.
exactly.
Let's
So
just say.
that song was made as the foundation of hip hop, but it also was a beef squasher. It was if you listen to the lyrics of "Made You Look," rather than him running with the beat, he came on. I thought he was gonna get hype on it. He laid back. Let's get it all in perspective. You know what I'm saying? Let the
Always
music
dropping-
let the music diffuse all the tension. That's what that song is. It's like this tension out here. That song squashed mad beef, and everybody didn't even realize how it did it. But that's
Nas was
ultimately what
definitely
happened.
here before. I read somewhere that he dropped out in like the 8th grade. And I
Yeah.
was like, this guy is a
Yeah.
venture capitalist.
You drop out
was
of
one of the first investors in like Uber and Ring and this stuff that you
Yeah.
need PhDs for. This guy
Well,
that
you would
doesn't
think
have
that,
a high school education
what
finesse the
it,
game.
what it really comes down to is if you're able to, whenever you finish school, even if you got a doctorate, if you don't continue to educate yourself and life and people and things, it's there. So the school system didn't work for him, but it's self-education. Most of the time when we be working, he got a stack of books on a desk, and then reading through a book and then keep writing. Like that's kind of part of life. You know what I'm saying? When you're in a space where you're able to take in new information and then find a way to process that and kind of push it forward. Those are what we have as far as human libraries, I call them. You know what I'm saying? People that have enough knowledge that can kind of push stuff through. And back to Made You Look, that was just me going, okay, what does this feel like? What is this energy? What did it feel like in 1973 at that August 11th, 1973 Cool Herc party? What were they playing? Well, that's one of the records we felt like they were playing. And, I told them the other day, because we know how it felt to listen to Public Enemy's Rebel Without a Pause on first listen and how hype it got us, is why we knew what to do with music like that. And him watching Rakim and G-Rap in the studio and me getting the chance to be around Marley Marl and really being a student of all that hip hop, that's why that record could come together. It had to be two kids that was really studying in 87, 88, you know what I'm saying, and figuring it out.
Nas is a student. He's definitely a student of the
Exactly.
game. You can't rush Nas to do practically nothing.
Nah.
Who's a favorite artist that you like working with? Like you like their process, like you know when you get with them or when you got with them that it was gonna be gold or platinum.
Um,
Besides Nas, I mean,
I mean, it was
we
them,
can
but
say
I think
Nas, but
there's a set of artists that I have a body of work with, whether it was the Fugees or Amy Winehouse or Jasmine Sullivan, Miguel. You know, there's a lot of artists that I just have a good chemistry with. Me and Neo work really well together, even though only a few of the songs we did came out. But I wouldn't say there was one over the other. I think that this part of the job was waking up and not knowing what was going to happen, and then having somebody that you're going to do it. Like the best part of creating is if I have an energy that's happening. It's a conversation I didn't know was going to happen. Then what happens is I have some music and I don't know what that person's going to say. You know what I'm saying? That curiosity is part of what keeps me working. You know what I'm saying? In that space, it's like when you don't know what's going to come out of it, but you get a chance to mix it up
the
and then look.
anticipation of the
Yeah,
unknown.
but you know, you get in with somebody that might say something smart. You snap on them. You don't know what they're going to say back. So then that's why you keep snapping. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of the creative process, like AI is upon us. A lot of producers, you know, been incorporating that in. What's your whole take on that? Like, do you have a take on that?
Not really. I mean, you know, they used to be scared of the drum machine because the drummer's not gonna have a job, or, you know, you're not scared of this, that, and the third. I think it's really dope that, you know, we could take this interview and have our real voices replaced with the AI version of our voices to get all that background noise and that fire truck and that fire engine that just drove
Yeah.
by. So I look at AI and all that stuff as just tools, and if you learn how to rock the tool, then you'll be moving faster than somebody that's not using the tool. But you know, auto tune isn't for note selection, it's for note correction. So you still gotta have your mind and think and feel what you wanna feel. And then you use those things to just tighten up.
That was a jewel. I just wanted y'all to, you know, just absorb that in real quick. So what advice would you give to up and coming producers? Because it looks so easy. It really does, you know, but I mean, you've been blessed. Fugees and Amy Winehouse, these are icons. Like, to a producer just getting started.
More than anything else, you know, I always was on my craft. So it's like if you ran into me somewhere, have your heat in your hand. You got something, it's like, yo, I got something dope at my house under my pillow. behind my couch. Where you got it? Can you push play? All right, cool. So that's number one. And then number two, you got the internet. That means you can get famous on the internet, you know, just as much as you can post foolishness and liking, you know, whatever else is going on. You can also attach whatever you think is a dope picture to your actual music and get people to know you for something else. You know, how about you got the meme music of the year, or now you got YouTube. You know, many producers. Ninth Wonder got popular for God's Stepson, taking my Nas Godson album and putting his beats to it. Or Danger Mouse had the Gray album, the Black album meets the Beatles' White album. So you know, you turn around and use that internet, because I had to go hand to hand, block to block. You can go around the
Very
world.
different back then.
You can go
Very
around the world
different.
from your house and never no one, you know. You can catfish everybody. Tell everybody your name is DJ Born Supreme Allah and your name is Howell Finkelstein from Nebraska.
Cash App that. I'll send them beats ASAP. So your resume is top 10. I will say that. Who in your mind is on the producers hip hop Mount Rushmore? Like, who would you consider, if I got to make one beat with three other dudes, put a lot of pressure on you here. It's a pressure-packed question right here.
I mean, it's different sides of it. I mean, if you're saying the route Mount Rushmore and specifically for hip hop, you know, I got to start with Marley Marl and Larry Smith. Larry Smith was, you know, him and my dad and my uncle were in a band together around the way in Queens, you know, when I was a baby. But when it gets back down to it, Larry Smith, what he did with the Run DMC, you know, differently from the bands, you know what I'm saying? Because Sugar Hill had a band, Enjoy Pumpkin, Uptown, you know what I'm saying, was that dude who would go in by himself. He was a drummer, but he was making some crazy tracks. Pumpkin, Larry Smith kind of brought it to
People
level.
probably have never even heard of some of these people, you know what?
Yeah, well, that's why you got to do the knowledge. If you ain't going to study, then get out the game.
Okay, so
But-
in the general music sense,
I'm
who do you feel like
I'm still gonna
is one
say.
of the-
I'm gonna tell you who inspires me.
Yes.
And where I'm gonna give it was Pumpkin, Larry Smith, Marley Marl. Marley Marl came in as the one man shows
was,
up
he
with his drum
was.
machine, and then he changed how you viewed.
I don't care who first or who last. I used to work with Marley. Marley is fun. He's
Marley was that,
hilarious.
and then Marley was friends with my pops, and he'd come by, and I was like, "Yo, Marley, can I get some co-production?" Then he let me co-produce a couple cuts on Craig G's second album, and watching him take my beats and make them into records.
Because it is a process. And that's another thing. A lot of producers think they make beats that they can turn into records. That's not necessarily true.
You have to be responsible for 100% of the product. Produce a keyword product, meaning that everything that went into the product and then delivering the final product. You don't just show up, I made a beat, so I'm the producer. Nah, that's cool, but you had to know exactly what to do. You got to be on the mix. You got to be the song hit right. How's that intro going? When we gonna fade it out? Or we gonna end it cold? Does the mastering sound right? Is everything about it all the way on to the point? So, Marley's definitely there, and of my contemporaries and different people, of course, the Q-Tip and Large Professor, Pete Rock, Premier, the Illmatic crew, is definitely that. And then there's plenty of people after that. Dr. Dre is definitely a standard as far as changing how the sonic of the music sounded
Yeah, he
and where
made-
it can go.
yeah.
And then, everybody
Clarified
else,
that thing.
everybody after that is kind of after me in different ways. But then even of the 80s crew, Marley was dope. But what kept Marley in his exclusive space is that you had Howie T, Herbie Lovebug, King of Chill, and Milk D, the first priority crew. You had Said G and Scholar Rock KRS, the Bronx crew. You had different people that were also keeping all of the different types of music popping, and it wasn't just one person. Rest in peace, Paul C. But the idol makers, like when you look at Herbie Lovebugs, the Salt and Pepper first album, like all that other stuff
He wrote
was
and
doing,
produced that.
Dana
Sleep
Dane,
on that.
exactly. Dana Dane and Sweet Tea and all the other stuff he had out of Idol Makers. They were making really great records, and that's the key to me. A great record means that 3 minutes can totally change somebody's mood, totally change how it is. I post mostly music on my IG because within a second, it can change your mood and how you feel and how you move. You know what I'm saying? 30
what's up.
seconds, you could be like, whoa, I feel different about my day now because that little bit of audio play. It's a frequency capture. And that's an art, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of things that's happening now, they're all coming out of the same 3 programs in the same computer. So you're getting a lot of the same energy. So when you hear something that comes from, cooked food compared to McDonald's,
That's a great analogy because you could smell the difference before you even taste it. It's a big difference. It looked different, it tastes different, the whole nine.
if you ain't afraid of pepper, you know what I'm saying? You make sure it get a little hot and steam up on you, get right.
So you're officially retired, been retired quite
As
some
far
time.
as production, yeah, I retired on my 50th birthday last year.
That was it.
No.
That was it for you. What could bring you out of retirement? Who could bring you out of retirement?
At this point, retired for me also means I can't be hired. You know what I'm saying? There is no more hiring me. Like, hey, do this and I'll do that. It's like it has to be a value exchange. It has to be an inspiration exchange. It has to be everything else. I still have a couple of film and play projects that are completing themselves that I committed to prior to that. But I'm just not in the studio. That's not my frequency. That's not what I'm giving off. I'm not sitting there going, hey, I have to communicate with my legacy via music because I got other stuff I can do.
And some of that other stuff has to do with paint brushes and murals and canvases. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so definitely during the pandemic, it gave me a chance to quietly leave my prior aspects alone while getting a chance to train on other ones. And at the top of 2021, I started kind of messing around with spray paint art and mixed media art, including pictures and finding ways to do stuff that evolved into me having a whole body of work that is now housed in my creative ecosystem called Museum. And within that, it's just not only me, it's also other people where I can now bring in a photograph from one person and now repurpose it, put it together, make sure that the artists or the people, the musicians that I've been working with or just different IP is included and everybody's getting paid, and creating a space where established icons and brand new artists can come up. Because if I just did it for myself, then that means I've used the relationship. But if I now set it up in the way that I've set up Museum, you can now come in and create something and now collaborate with an artist the same way I could. So that was really what the goal was. Just making something that was bigger than me and pretty much leaving a creative agency studio business model that many people can use going forward, you know. Because I know that I was blessed to have the opportunities to get to certain people and to make certain things, and I was gonna get a certain amount of notoriety just because of my past music career. So rather than me just taking my past music career and then, hey, I did something dope and it goes away, how about, hey, I did something dope for the entire artistic community?
And it's gonna be here for a minute. Well, on that note, let's go take a look and see some of this beautiful art that I can't afford. I got a teenager, so we'll see. I'm sure, you know what I'm saying, we work a little something out right here, you know what I'm saying? Steph Lova live and direct. Salam Remi, baby, let's get it.
We'll start over here with the Nas, basically. Dope piece done by Ernie Panicoli. Picture, spray paint art, audio systems in it, you know what I'm saying? Really keeps it steady and just feeling like how we should feel on the wall, you know what I'm saying? Let's go, the world is mine. F the world. This here is Black Thought. Lyrical thoughts as far as the whole flow through of it.
I heard some people be like,
all the energy in his beard and his eyes.
they've always been told
Using that microphone here was really important.
they're like,
Going to the microphone, having that be lit up into different energy was really important.
yeah.
This here, Big Daddy Kane,
Oh, Delta
the
8.
raw art box.
So many places and
So we're keeping it raw
Really?
on the speakers,
That doesn't make sense.
not the brand.
popping off.
Oh, a 20 milligram gummy.
Yeah.
Do you ever look at
Big
those?
Daddy Kane, definitely got
Probably do.
the blue Nas that kicks in off of Godson 2.0.
No, I don't know.
So it's keeping that flowing.
I got you right here. So 2 stamps, third stamp is free. Cool. So
Keeping that in this lane of how it works.
of course. You too. Thank you very much.
Like how much Bob makes it look.
I'd like to see if they're going to cut.
Save the world, Marvin.
How's it going, man?
Marvin got that bucket. Marvin got that other piece. So you saying save the world? It's so real. It gets no better. DC Zone, Marvin Gaye. Club Quarantine, you know, the one and only D Nice, and what he was able to do with all these other pieces, keeping it going. So basically D Nice, and then in the Club Quarantine aspect, everything he did for us, just keeping it lit. You know, this piece also has a reflection in the background, and that was really something that's serious with that. And then my young boy, Mac Wiles, you know, it's really New York, a love story's 10-year anniversary. So we were able to say, yo, where's Mac at? Have him back up. Keep it lit with us. Making sure that was on point. You know what I'm saying? And this piece is 555 Fab Five Freddy's. So when you zoom in, every hat and glasses combination is totally different. You know? And when you look at them, 555 different ones that kind of make up all 555 Fab Five Freddy's. Serious. On this side, we have Dennis Brown, rocked out with the wood and all those pieces in it. And then making sure that each piece of it was like wood ingrained out of the yard. So they really sizzled and made it pop, you know what I'm saying? Something brand new for us. Yeah, this here is the Dundada Super Cat. Cat with his microphone, but also we look at the detail on the Wild Apache sound. Where the speakers actually pop off and play music at the same time. So all these speakers actually play in different ways. We're having Super Cat kick that in. the end inhale a lot of energy. Cellular cruise. Cellular cruise is great energy, but also having this total piece where you can really feel all the old energy that comes from it. And there you have it.
Hey, look at who
Hi.
I can't say I bumped into, but
You know what I'm saying?
the Chocolate Boy. Do they still call you Chocolate Boy Wonder?
Yeah.
I do. Pete, give me. I mean, this is an impromptu interview, real quick. What you got coming up? You told me you got a whole album with
look out
Common,
for
with Raekwon. Goodness gracious.
Look out for Dope Boy Soul, my artist's album coming out. Working with Common, working with Ghost and Ray.
He bringing Common out, Lord.
We're working with Ray, actually. I did one on the Ray and Ghost joint.
Woo!
You know what I'm saying?
You know I'm from Shaolin, right?
Yep.
Add that in.
Now, you from actually everywhere.
DMV lover.
New York.
Pete, come
This
back
is-
soon. You heard?
No doubt, definitely. Shout out to Steph Lova. This is my only buddy in the game. You know?
Steph Lover, L Crooked, IVE, Legacy DC with Salam Remi. We just checked out his art exhibit, museum. That's the umbrella that it's under. Amazing. If you get a chance, check it out. We right here, 14th for you in the heart of Northwest Washington, DC. And the lights went out. What happened? Yeah, we back at it once again. Steph Lova live and direct. Legacy DC, Northwest in the heart of Washington DC. We like to call it the DMV. So what was your inspiration behind that? Because it seems like it's a lot of artists that you work with. So it has to be that you enjoyed working with them, or they photograph well, or what is it?
It was more than artists I worked with. It was just whoever I respected. If I'm going to sit down and I first of all made, it's like I look at like I cook what was going to be in my pot, and if somebody else like it, cool. So I made what I would put on my wall, and anybody that's there is somebody that I respect, not only for their musical skills, but because of the person that they are. You know what I'm saying, and what they represented, and you know the struggle of a cellular cruise, or you know the love and hate and never be friends that Dennis Brown brought through, or Fat Five Freddy's innovative, you know, East Cuzzo, but at the same time what he meant to hip hop coming uptown, going downtown, and downtown going uptown to check hip hop. You know what I'm saying, and bringing things forward. You know the aspects of what D Nice brought to all of us during the pandemic. You know, Black Thought being who he is, and you know our collaboration is on that level. Big Daddy Kane, you know, for being Kane, like he brought so much together, and you know what we have here in this space is only a percentage of, it's probably a quarter or less than a quarter of really all the art pieces that I've created in the last couple of years. But you know, to me, just being able to bring it in a way that they actually appreciate it, they're definitely with it, they're actually financially participating in it, and you know, they also get to approve who the buyer is. You know what I'm saying?
And art always goes up in value. It's like one of the many things, like
it's
real
representing
estate.
us, you know. At the end of the
and
day,
that part. Yeah.
A lot of times, like we're not always represented with value. Like, hey, this guy's worth this, and you're worth that. Like, nah. As a generation now, you know, the adult generation is 35 to 60. That's a hip hop generation.
Yeah, it is.
And for that to be the hip hop generation, then we want to see something on our wall that represents what we grew up loving.
I remember years ago talking to Chris Webber, and he brought the Good Times. I can't think of the artist right now, but he bought the original. And I was like, why would you do that? And he was like, Steph, are you kidding me? Like, this is...
there's always...
And I was just uneducated about it.
It was always seemed like that. You talk about the Ernie Barnes.
Yes.
That JJ was doing. So he might have had an original, but then I was at Eddie Murphy's house one time.
No, Eddie got the original. Let me, all right, before I be corrected,
Right.
Chris has one of the original copies. There's only 10 maybe imprints of that copy. So
he has
excuse me,
like that, exactly.
but you're right. Eddie Murphy got
I was at
the
Eddie's
real
crib,
one.
and I looked at the frame on it, and I was like, this frame old as who? You know what I'm saying? He's like, no, that's the original. And I took it and looked at it, and I was like, whew. Like, I got chills looking at that sucker.
But for real, Salam, let's be real. What is the market like for urban America for art.
Well,
Because they don't know,
it's
just
more
like
than
I didn't
that.
know, like that NFT shit went crazy. And now I read somewhere that all the NFTs are worth about 5% of the value of when.
Well, this is the whole aspect of it. You know, what I look at is the blockchain wasn't just about the financial aspect of it, it's value, right? So
People devalued it after a while, you think?
everything else is going on, you know, with the crypto up and down and all that stuff being basically a susu or whatever you would call it. where everybody put
Only
their
the
money in.
Caribbean myself gotta know what Kasusu is. Ah.
You know what I'm saying? But you're going to turn around and say, yeah, everybody put money in, then I ain't got no money in. Why? Because this guy didn't come in. Oh, I messed up.
That's not how it works,
So at
yeah.
the end of the day, that's what that is. But the value for me is when you know that this is something that means something. So what it is for an artist or a musician, you could be like, well, the industry, nobody values me. No, it just means you didn't find the people that value you.
Correct.
Because you want to do the work, but you want to get that snail mail check that's going to take 3 weeks to clear. Or you want to get that immediate Zelle payment. Your phone just started shaking. Like, what's that? Okay.
I like Zelle, what the hell?
So
Especially I
it's
like
the
to hear
same
that
aspect
cash
of
app
it.
go ching ching.
Exactly. So we just authenticating who's supposed to get paid on what. That's beyond our existence. Because if hip hop has been here 50 years, then what happens in 50 years more? So if the cats that made it 50 years ago ain't getting paid, then what's going to happen to the stuff we did right now?
Right
in 50
now,
years?
yeah.
I've retired, but I mind my businesses. You understand what I'm saying? As long as I'm minding my businesses, it just means that I already got enough. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to wait till I'm 65
Facts.
to do this. I've been in this since the 80s, you know, and
You know that paperboy hat gave all that vibe away, but you know, I was
all
saving that
good,
to the
you know.
for the end.
It's all good. I was felt naked without it. I found it in one of my suitcases today. I was like, oh, there we go. You know what I'm
Yo, as
saying?
we wrap up, just let them know after the curation leaves here, Washington, D.C., where can they find it next? Or if somebody's an art
even now.
connoisseur that
Yeah.
really wants a piece, where can they find your art?
So, you know, we have our flagship gallery that's open all this time. I've been in New York all summer, and now we're here in D.C. But basically, in Wynwood, Miami, which is the art district. But, you know, definitely you could do that. And then museum.com, museum.com. That's where you'll be able to engage with us. But the way this art is set up, you got to stand in front of it and feel it. That's it.
Say less. Steph Lova Live, Salam Remi, y'all. We give a round of applause. Hey, we got a few people in the house. What up, Riz? Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Here, squeeze the cat. One time. Squeeze the cat.
But I like it.
Down in meetings, the first thing I let them know is what excites me.
Right.
And 9 times out of 10, it's a dollar figure.
If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
Oh man, we may be able to work something out, but I gotta be clear and make it clear. This is what excites Rose. And soon as I say that number, it's like a bah go off and the confetti falls.
Let me ask you a question.
Don't you want me excited?
Yeah, they want you. They better. They had you there for a reason.
You feel me?
Have you ever thrown out a number and they say, well, Mr. Ross, we appreciate your service. We appreciate you taking the time, but that's not where we are right yet.
Yeah, I done threw a number out several times. Most definitely. You know what I mean? Sometimes it then came back around. A matter of fact, it's a lot of times we come back around and we connect.
Steph Lova Live and direct from Legacy, D.C. And no matter what color you are, money matters as your pockets get fatter. That's why I invited my friend Corey A. Griffin. He's the president and chief financial officer of Global Government and Industrial Partners, LLC. And after 14 years at Microsoft, he's the co-owner of The Point, one of the hottest venues in the DMV, right in the water. So listen up, you might just learn something. Money matters. For real, for real. Yeah, baby, you know what it is. Steph Lova Live once again with another dope segment. I got my man Corey right here. money matters, baby. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the Black community. That generational wealth is not to be played with. What up, Corey?
How you doing, Steph?
You ready to get your ass busted?
Listen. I got. Listen, I don't know what you calling, but I'm gonna go ahead and get involved with something over here. How about that line in that pocket over there?
Oh, we calling up. Nah, seriously, Corey, talk to me a little bit. I mean, financial literacy in the Black community. I mean, seriously, I got a 16-year-old. She in my pocket crazy, but she don't understand. This shit don't grow on trees. But even before we get to that, how the hell did Barack Obama designate you the top dog at the Peace Corps?
Yeah, boy, I wasn't quite the top.
There's Black people in the Peace Corps?
It's a few of us here. Listen, that was one of these moments. Actually, the phone call came in. I had no idea that the White House would be calling.
No, somebody was pranking you?
I thought they were pranking me, and I said, "Look here, they said, would you be interested in serving at the pleasure of the President of the United States?" And I said, "Well, I'll take it."
Nice.
So yeah, I was associate director of the Peace Corps there, and served in the administration from 2012 to 2015. So it was quite an honor, and more, you do things in life, but what's really important is how it matters to your family. And to see my grandparents while they were living, to have the honor of telling all their friends and family from down south that I worked for the president was a big deal for me. So I appreciate the opportunity to have served the president and serve my family in that way.
I just got one question. What he smell like?
Money.
He said, smell like money. I know that's right.
Success.
Man, that's really important, in our community, is to having that bag. So how did you get started? I mean, you own The Point, one of the owners of The Point, DC, phenomenal restaurant. They're actually building around your whole restaurant.
It's crazy.
Kind of
4 million square feet of space when they finish developing that.
And you right on the water?
We're right there on the water.
It's just, it's like money in the bank.
First restaurant there. We expect that by the time they finish with the development, there'll be many more restaurants there, but we think there's something special about being the first.
How'd you have the foresight to know this is where we need to open up this restaurant?
My partner, Greg Casson, who's just been in the restaurant business for a long time. Greg's been in the city for 35, 40 years, running various restaurants. He's also the principal owner of the Ivy City Smokehouse. So
get out of here!
It's my guy. So Greg,
Greg owed me a lot of money. You know how much money I spent now? I'm helping Greg build a house.
So Greg's got a lot of houses probably. But Greg came to me. I was a frequent patron of the Ivy City Smokehouse, and he knew that I was working as my full-time job. I run a small business as a lobbyist. And so I was lobbying for the developer who was.
Man, you got the Peace Corps, Black lobbyists.
I got a lot of things.
What's next? You a storm chaser? I mean,
does it pay? If that job pay, I might take that one too.
The insurance incredible, but yeah, it pays.
So Greg asked me to be a partner, and so I did the easy part, which is to write a check, right? And it's been an amazing journey for us. So we've been 2 years and a few months. We opened up at the tail end of the pandemic, under a lot of pressure to be successful. We got 12,000 square feet of space down there. So it's a lot of space, and it's a lot.
Beautiful space.
It is beautiful. It's an awesome building, awesome space, and we're right there on the water down at the marina. I was telling some of the guys earlier that James River Marina, the James Creek Marina, is historically Black. So Black boaters have been down there for decades. But another really important fact is that Buzzard Point was one of the few places in the country where Black folks could actually go and resort. It's in the Green Book, right? So it's important.
Wow, he taking it back.
I mean, everything is about what's happened in the past.
Yeah,
right?
you're right.
And so it means
it's getting rectified right now. Yeah.
It matters now that as a part owner of the restaurant in a historically significant place, it matters, right? You can breathe it all in. I hope I make a lot of money there. If I don't, I'm still very proud.
Did your part, yeah.
No doubt.
Now, as a African American or a person of color, how would I go about getting a loan from a bank, given I have no credit background, I don't have generational wealth? What's the first step? Obviously, is it credit score? Clean your credit up?
Yeah, well, you got to do all those basic things. So Steph, I'm also, I got another title for you. I'm the chair of the Greater Washington Black Chamber of Commerce, right? So my job there is to, one, identify Black business in the city. Did you know that right here on this block, 14th Street, in this U Street corridor, there were 400 Black-owned businesses in the 20s within about a 20 or 30 block radius. You'd be hard pressed to find, 40 of them right now.
Right.
Right. So and we understand that the biggest challenge for Black businesses is access to capital. So we're dealing with that every day with startup businesses, with old legacy businesses like Industrial Bank right here on the corner. They've been here for 85 years, I believe.
Since I was at Howard, it was here, yeah.
So they've been here a long time, and access to capital is why they exist. They exist so that they can help Black folks and others to get access to capital so that they can have businesses. It continues to be the biggest and number one barrier to Black businesses and their success. So we are under attack. Right, and that is to say that the programs, all of the programs in the past that have been there from the federal government to support minority business, in particular Black business, right? Those programs, the 8A program, it's under the threat right now of this shift that we've had. Right, George Floyd came, everybody wanted to be responsible to the issue, everybody wanted to show up and find a way to be helpful. Corporations have done that, foundations have done that, others have done it, but so now we have a problem with the government and the Republican Congress, right, attacking those programs and saying that they believe the very existence of those programs is racism and it's disenfranchising other communities. So, a lot of work to do, but we got to watch it, right? And right now, the Supreme Court could easily overturn all of the things that have been benefiting Black folks over the last 30, 40 years to help us to be in business.
No, seriously, I appreciate the time.
Oh, you got a shot. The shot is nice. I don't think.
He didn't see. Supposed to catch that, Kev.
Put some money on the table, man. Change the dynamic.
Nah. Only thing I'm betting on is food, Kev. That's it. We can bet on dinner.
Or maybe at the point.
For the rest of the year for your girl. Nah, seriously, Corey, appreciate the time.
Oh, no
give
doubt.
us
No doubt.
some real generational wealth advice. Like, if you're trying to break the cycle, how would a person living in 2023 do that? What's the first step?
The first thing you have to do is know that money matters, right? I'm gonna take that right from your theme, but money matters, which means that when you have it, right, you've got to do at least two things, right? You have to invest it and you have to give it, right? And I think that those two things are universally true for amassing wealth. And if you can't really connect to those basic principles, then you're always gonna be chasing the money, right? That's how banks chase you, when you invest it and when you get it.
There it is.
There you
Money
go.
matters. Steph Lova live right here. Big CG. Let me hold something. Let me hold something. Appreciate the love, party people. Follow me, Steph Lova 100. Before I get out of here, let me just let y'all know that I don't give a fuck that I wasn't included in that Rap City documentary. You know why? Because I only did like 10 episodes, and they couldn't afford me anyway. Big shout to my people at MTV too. It's all love. And speaking of my peoples, big shout to DJ Pay Me, the whole crew right here at Legacy DC. And we're gonna leave it like this with my girl Killer Cam. Talk to me nice, Cam.
Do not kill a Cam. I think I'ma have to do it like a proper rhyme. The orange baby, there is nothing to it. Your baby mother is a lightweight, and we knew it. She'll give herself alcohol poisoning to disprove it. I'ma lose it like a house key. Got a tighten like Brunkowski. Lift my show my to anybody who doubted me. Undoubtedly a monster in my God-given body. Pretty mother, like I'm ASAP Rocky. I'll rip apart, you think they see it in my eyes. I'm so mother nice, I ain't no toy to fucking try. Hit the target like I snipe. Fruity bitty peaches right. Parking space, I'm getting tight like a kegel on the pipe.
Killer Cam, you understand? But we gonna double up today, cause my man Riz the Great is in the building. Don't trip, you heard?
Hey, look. Cooler than your uncle, all his fashionistas. I'm an artist, I'm painted like them Basquiat pieces. Bored you in the alley, boy, don't get alopecia. My chef will capisha, yeah, I said capisha. Make me pay for features, boy, pay for these features. Is it fleece or snow? Is it ice or glow? I chop the dice, then I lead that boy to Pico to Gallo. Michael Myers all in my bio, that's no typo. Now X marks the O's. Don't leave your pocket cold, Yu-Gi-Oh, you gotta play your card right. Now Shawty gave me me a cold shoulder till I gave her all this Klondike. Bars, pause, my God, a symbiote and a seance, no fragrant foul, but no ID, so no foul. Good Lord, now to bless this child. Off the top, Uncle Fester style with the yeah, and never now. Now service with the simple syrup. Now I'm civil now. Pay for your bills that I cash out and hit you now. Pick a style. Wait, nah, hold up, man, like pick a style, cause I can kill them bars, but a nigga can really dress now.
Hey! Straight from the DMV, baby. Steph Lova live. Blah! Legacy DC, Steph Lova live.